Welcome back. Yesterday we reported on a tragic bus accident. We didn't have very many details, but in tonight's follow-up investigation, you will see how this tragedy unearthed the heroism in one man. In tonight's top story, a hero in the rough. A bus crash, a dangerous situation, kids' lives hanging in the balance. Those kids needed a savior, and that savior was a local city power worker named Chuck Leroy Mckinson. Mckinson was born here in town. He lived with his grandparents from a very young age. But unfortunately, life came at him fast, and in 3rd grade, his grandfather died. He had to drop out of school to help support his grandmother. But luckily, he was taken under the wing of controversial city manager Sparky O'Toole, who is of course best known for hiring young poverty-stricken children instead of trained professionals. Now, because of Sparky's care, Chuck Leroy became an expert in his field, and he is currently the electrical manager for the city, and he has been for the past 25 years. Chuck Leroy Mckinson, overcoming adversity and becoming a hero. When asked about inspirations that Chuck has had and how he has overcome all the obstacles in his life, he quickly comes up with one man, Christopher Lambert, who has been a personal hero of his since the 1986 film Highlander. He had this to say about his idol.
I don't like to compare myself to Christopher Lambert. I call him CL for short. But he's too great a man to be compared to the likes of me. I'm your average man. But I like to think of myself as a Christopher Lambert follower. I'm a fan. If you look, I don't know if you can get this on camera. I got this tattoo in honor of CL, in honor of the Highlander. There can be only one. There can be only one Christopher Lambert. Until then, I emulate him. I want to be him. CL, if you're out there.
Christopher Lambert is lucky to have such a faithful fan.
I got this tattooed when I was 19. WWCLD. What would Christopher Lambert do? I think about that every day.
We asked Chuck Leroy to give us a first-hand account, and this is what he said.
I was sitting about here, all on the hood of my Galise, with a cold beer in my hand. Now, I was sitting here playing with my raccoons, those fastest little animals. I'll tell you what, that's when I saw the bus coming, when it jerked to the right, just flailed on over to the right. Now, I came off the hood. There was a second's worth of hesitation, a minimal amount of hesitation, and I shot like a bullet from a gun, straight for the, if you see, you can see my path. If you want to come around, in between the white pole and that concrete with the pole sticking out, straight through there to the end of that fence line. Straight through the end of that fence line.
Caught up with some of the victims of this tragic accident, and these are their first-hand accounts.
It was like any other ride home, and I was sitting there doing my Spanish homework, and I happened to glance up right as this raccoon jumped out into the road. And the bus driver, her instincts weren't very good, so she took a while. She slammed it over that way, and I knew we were headed for trouble. We just went into the ditch. Like I said, I was scared for my life.
Well, I was on the bus and the raccoon ran foot. Just went out of control, crashed in this ditch. This crazy guy, this orange hat, he lifted the bus.
Now, did he actually lift the bus? Did he actually...
He ran up to the side, he picked it up, and he moved it out of the ditch.
When asked about the man who had saved him, one youth had this to say.
Well, before I saw him, I was scared, man. I was scared for my life, and then I saw him, and I was like, cool, someone's gonna help us, but he didn't really look like he could help. He just looked like your average guy, but then when he picked it up, I knew he was something special.
Nah, anyone would have done it. CL would have done it. CL would have been through that I have a feeling that CO would have been lifted that bus straight up over his head. Just free lifted. Bam! Just bam. Bam.
We wanted to know more. We had him walk us through exactly what happened.
Alright. Well, I was at my home. Across this field, by my trailer, I have on this property out here.
Okay.
Now, I'm out there playing with some family pets. And I see this bus coming down the road.
Now, is this unusual?
Oh, no. This is the normal route for the public school system. All the buses come through this area right here.
Okay.
What happened is I'm watching the bus go by as happy and dandy as you do, and it comes down the street and it jerks to the right. And it hits that ditch, and as it jerks to the right, I said, man, that bus is going to hit that ditch.
What was going through your mind when you seen that bus careen into that ditch?
Oh, those poor children. I couldn't believe that those poor children were in trouble. They were in a tough spot. So the bus is tipped over on its side.
What was your first instinct? What did you do?
Oh, I was up and running. I was up and running, okay? I was like Christopher Lambert, bat out of hell. Bam! Right going like a shotgun. I was on the scene.
And not very many people would do that. Not very many people would not only risk their own lives.
It was worth it. For those, well, how many children on a bus? What, 200, 300 children per
in this
bus?
School district, easy.
Okay. Those children's lives are more important than one man. I'm just one man. Chuck Leroy Mckinson is just one man. Those children are the future. So I came out here. The children, the bus is tipped at it's angular. It's tipped angular. There's kids, their feet are kicking out from the windows.
How did you know what to do? What was going through your mind?
It was pure instinct. Pure instinct. You see those kids. Those poor, defenseless children.
You know you have to do
preteens and teenagers flailing out the window.
And you know you've got to take care of this situation.
Oh, yeah. I came out here, fast as you can be, rounded this pole, came up to this ditch.
And this right here was where the bus actually was.
Yes, it was angular. The kids, I knew that I had to swing this bus out or these kids were done for. It started tipping. Some kids had fallen out. The bus was going to fall on them kids. So I did the only thing that made sense to me.
And now, we've heard numerous accounts of what happened, but I'd like to hear, in Chuck Leroy's own words, what exactly did you do to get that bus out?
I don't want to brag, because normally in any other situation, I wouldn't have been able to do this. At all. But those kids needed me. Chuck Leroy Mckinson knew those kids needed him, and I was out here. And I came. And here's the bus. Now, the bus's bumper is about 2 kilometers wide. Now, I came underneath the bus bumper, and I used my quadrilateral muscles in my legs. I used my back. You lift from the knees, and my adrenaline was pumping. My heart was pounding. I picked it up, and I powered it up. I muscled it right up.
So you actually lifted that bus?
I lifted that bus up
and
out of the ditch. I don't know how I done it. I don't know. By the grace of God, I done it. By the grace of God for those kids, I done it. I lifted, I gathered myself, and I powered up. I threw the bus. I picked that bus up, and I threw it. I threw it off them kids. Any man would have done it.
A success story if I've ever heard one, but there are still repercussions. 3 children are still hospitalized, and several of Chuck Leroy's animals are still missing.
See that? That's Robbie. That's Robbie, one of my geese. No. He come back, but I ain't found any of my raccoons.
We hope your friends return soon, Chuck. Now on to the weather with Sam Plunkett.
Hey everybody, it's your crazy weatherman, Sammy Plunkett. Now, today's weather is gonna be rainy, but tomorrow it's all about the sunshine. Woo! Drag out your picnic baskets and enjoy the day. Now, for a special message, do you know about VD?